I think one of the most beautiful things about life is emotions and the fact that we can experience them without experiencing anything at all. Take a movie, for instance, right? You would say you're experiencing the movie, but really you're not inside of the movie. It's not you, but still you have an emotion about it. When I watched 28 Days Later for the first time in my life, I was very young, and that song starts playing. And the guy is just running at the end of the movie, and the whole desolation of his world, which for him just is the world. So the world is just ending for the guy, and the song and like everything about it just blew my mind. It gave me like an epiphany or something. It just opened myself up to emotions, and I'll always remember how much that did to me. But I'll also remember how ashamed I was of feeling things and about talking about how I felt about things. And the thing is emotions and like thoughts are at the same time two separate things, right? You can feel something but think a certain way. You can think something but feel a certain way. But also they're like a yin and yang, right? So like your emotions impact your thinking and your thinking impacts your emotions. And when the two are aligned, it's like the perfect storm. It sounds bad. Like it's like the perfect catalyst to propel you towards a certain thing you want, right? Because in my head, in my experience, your thoughts and emotions aren't just really what guides you all the time. It's part of the process, but also you have like your consciousness. But anyway, I'm not gonna sound too crazy here. But like you have your thoughts, right? And they impact your emotions, your thoughts, and if they're aligned, right? If you're driven, you think I want to go a certain way, and your emotions just like push you even more. But if the opposite is true, say you really like a girl and you really want to talk to her, but then your emotions make you afraid of doing it. So now you're in this tug of war that makes you operate without synergy. It makes you weird or very nervous, and you start stuttering. This is a moment where emotions do the opposite. And I want you to think of the expression: the less you want something, the more you will get it. And I want you to think about that because I want you to open your mind and think about expressions like this, like containing some truth, right? I don't want to turn you religious. I don't want you to think a certain way. But when people say something, usually it's because there's some truth or some underlying experience they had with it that makes them say it in the first place. And this expression, it comes about a lot. Give me 1 second. So the less you want something, the more you'll get it. I think because emotions can impact your thinking and therefore your decisions, when you're desperate for something, you'll make the wrong decisions. For instance, I open up my video and I tell you, you can get rich in 3 simple steps if you just bought my course, which is how to get rich in the first place. It's to make courses about how to get rich. Anyway, less about that. You wouldn't buy my course unless you're really desperate. And so that's how they sell you the course, right? So selling is not about wanting to make money. It's about making other people want your product. Sounds really stupid, but that's how to sell. And they found the perfect group, the perfect target. But if you weren't desperate, you wouldn't buy the course. And if you were desperate, you would buy the course. And so now you see that emotions, the more you wanted to be rich, the more you started doing things that were irrational, because the emotion is telling you to do things all the time. Things that align sort of with what you want, right? It's an urge, it's a propellant. But that's the wrong decision. Now, if you could decide to not be desperate, if you could just look at your desperation from the outside and be like, okay, that's a thing that's going on in my head. You could calm down the desperation. You wouldn't buy the course. Maybe you'll save the money. Now, I don't save money. I just gamble it all the time. But like, you could, right? In theory. And so when I tell you guys, take perfect accountability of your actions, which just means not to have no shame, not to have no emotions, not to be stoic. I mean, stoicism kind of is misrepresented, right? But I don't want to delve into that. But like, what you want with accountability is to own your feelings, to own your thoughts and decisions, not to put guilt, to put responsibility somewhere. I say it like this because it's an effective message, but what I want you to do is understand all these things are you. And all of these things are interconnected, your feelings, your decisions, and all of this. And so if you could take the time, someone says something you disagree with. Someone says, oh, I know something that particularly trips people up. I believe there's a God, right? People go wild up. They don't take a step back and they're like, what is this person really telling me? Is this really a discussion about what exists and what isn't? Is this person sharing a particular feeling? You should make the conscious decision to step away from your first reaction, because it's the first step, and doing the same with yourself. You're working. You're getting super anxious. You're getting super nervous, or you quit. You're so mad. You're like, I don't want to work on this thing anymore. I got stressed out. I'm not going to do it anymore. Okay, I'm angry now. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to apparently drop things. I'm going to take a step back. I'm not going to reject my anger. I'm not going to say, I can't be angry. I'm going to say, I'm angry. But you know what else? I also wanted to do this before I felt this way. And so that means that my emotion right now is conflicting with my goal. And that's okay. So I'm going to accept the anger. I'm going to make the decision to do it anyway until the feeling and decision aligns again. That is accountability. It is understanding that everything is you. Everything is you. People tell me, what if one day I've been working for 80 years and I didn't achieve anything, I didn't make any money. It's like, so? You tried for 80 years? What is 80 years of not trying? How is it different? But only one will get you towards where you want to be, and one will not.